Welcome back to the Fenway Focus. This is episode 23 of the Fenway Focus. My name is Derek. I'm here with Jason. Jason's over here losing his mind a little bit, but that's okay. The Red Sox are coming off an unfortunate series split to the Chicago White Sox. And with that, I'm going to immediately pass it over to Jason so he can talk about the first game of the series, which he gets to talk about the fun game, shall I say. So Jason, what are your thoughts on the series? And let's start it off with game one.
The series, overall, not great. The White Sox are going to be historically bad for not just this year, but the years to come. I think they're at least half a decade from even sniffing a wild card. They're going to be selling a lot of big pieces, Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert. Or Robert, I like to say Robert because that's how you should pronounce it. Unpopular opinion. But overall, I'm not satisfied with splitting the series.
Whoa.
What?
Someone's going to be very upset with that statement.
Who? Who's going to be upset with that?
You know who. No, I think you know who.
Fine. I do know. Anyways, let's recap the fun game. Sox won 14-2. Houck just had another phenomenal start, going 7 innings of 3 hit ball, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. So the strikeouts are going up more, which I like to see. Season ERA down to 1.91. I don't know if it went down or up, but then Cam Boozer came in and they didn't get the save, but got the last 2 innings, 8 up, 1 hit. But the White Sox are just historically just bad. Like okay, I'm not saying it. Gavin Sheets, Andrew Vaughn, Paul DeYoung, Luis Robert. That's it. Outside of that, you have a team with bums. I'm just gonna say it, but not good from the White Sox this game. Woodford had a terrible outing. 4 innings pitched, 10 hits, 7 runs all earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. On the offensive side for the Sox, Duran had 4 hits and 2 RBIs. Valdez had 3 RBIs. Ref Snyder had 3 hits. O'Neill had 2 hits before his injury later. Dom Smith had 3 hits. Wong had 2 hits. David Hamilton had 2 hits. Rafaela had 4 hits and 4 RBI. So some life in the Red Sox offense, but then again, you have a team like the White Sox who are just historically bad. The White Sox at the time had 15 wins, and we're approaching game. Let's do the math quickly.
For game
them,
70, like what? 75? 70, 65, something like that?
65.
Yeah, approaching game 65.
Ish.
Yeah, they're 15 and 48, so
they were 15 and 48 after that.
After the series.
Not great.
After that game. Oh, after that game, actually. After the series was 17 and 48, so... Yeah,
shout out to Danny Mendick for pitching the 9th inning. That's my thoughts on game 1. Good win for the Sox. 24 hits, no errors, 14 runs. Boom. Duran leadoff bomb. Valdez had a home run. Boom. And Westbrook too. Westbrook had his first MLB home run. So,
Danny,
good job for him. What?
Danny, what a man, Dick.
If I could mute you, I would do it in a second.
Well, you can't, unfortunately. Moving on, we'll move off from game 1, obviously. I'll shout out to Cam Boozer for a nice couple of minutes out of that. We'll move on to the second game of this series, where the Red Sox lost 7-2. If you remember, I did say they were going to lose any game of the series, but they ended up losing 2. But
I said that too.
They were going to lose. This was the game that they were going to lose. Obviously, Garrett Crochet looked good, 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. Figures. He only walked 2 guys in those 6 innings, and Cooper Criswell didn't look great. did not look great. So Cooper Criswell, that's not ideal. And then the offense for the Red Sox, obviously. Crochet Garrett Crochet pitched well, but Wong did have a couple hits. Nice little performance there from him. But like outside of that, Devers struck out 3 times. Duran struck out twice. Even Wong struck out 2 times himself. Garrett Cooper struck out twice. Rafaela struck out twice. So not a ton of productivity. And the team was 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position as well, which is not ideal. Whereas the White Sox were 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position that game. That's kind of the difference. I know it was 7-2, so you could argue that's not the only difference, because obviously Lou Bob hit a homer and Sheets hit a homer and Vaughn hit a homer, and obviously none of those were with runners on. They're all solo shots, but the other runs, really, you look at Paul DeJong snatching up a couple RBIs and Oscar Colas snatching up a couple RBIs. You kind of look at that and they very well, you look at it and you go, okay, well, you kind of scratch those 4 runs, and then you can bring in like a couple more. If the Red Sox could have brought in a couple runs when they had runners in scoring position, then they very well could have made what's what am I looking for? They very well could have been more in the game. 7-2, I think, is a little bit misleading somewhat, because a couple things go their way and they have it. Also, Duran had to steal a home, which was hilarious, but unfortunately it didn't come in a winning game. Unfortunately,
we're sort of waiting for that to happen this season. We didn't know when, but we knew he was just going to steal home, like a legitimate steal. Not some bad throw to second and they barely get it and then they throw home and Duran's safe by a mile. No, like a legitimate Jacoby Ellsbury moment. We were waiting for that and we finally got it. I think we'll see another one again this season. At home, that'd be insane, but he finally got his moment. Should have been in Seattle where he got it when he was halfway to home. I don't know what you're waiting for, but good to see him get that moment then.
I mean, it's the second one of the year, so.
Yeah. It's first legitimate, actual steal.
I mean, no, because Mel realized he should have been out at first.
Okay.
Had the White Sox not been the White Sox, he'd have been out at first.
No, I'm saying, the first time he technically stole home, it was a throw to second, whereas, what are you doing? Why are you throwing to second with Duran on third?
Well, obviously, but, still, it wasn't, a straight steal at home in terms of, he didn't, steal on, the pitcher in terms of, the pitcher throwing a pitch or whatnot, or,
I'm waiting to see... Yeah.
You know what I mean. It wasn't
I do,
the pitcher's getting ready, the pitcher's in the stretch, it comes set, and then he just goes on him. It wasn't that.
I want to see Duran steal on a throw after a ball of strikes called when the catcher throws it back to the pitcher and it's a lob. I just want to see him sprint home and then, oh my God, that'd be funny. That would be awesome.
The thing is, I don't think the catcher would do that with him on third, though. I think that's the issue.
Sometimes you get lazy.
You'd have to be real lazy and real dumb to do that.
Listen. Mental mistakes happen in the game of baseball. That's inevitable.
It would have to be a young catcher too. It couldn't a guy.
Sometimes you lose your guard. Yes.
Maldonado's not going to do that. He's never going to do that.
No, a Maldonado, no. A Logan O'Hoppe, for example, maybe. Trying to think of other young catchers, but no. Austin Wells, who we're going to see coming up.
Or Reese McGuire, maybe.
Reese McGuire.
Dumb enough to be in a Dollar Tree. Dumb enough to.
Okay. Whatever.
I'm just saying. He clearly lacks judgment.
I don't disagree.
Clearly lacks judgment.
Oh, breaking. Dan Hurley turned down the Lakers offer and was going to return to UConn.
Okay.
For Woj.
Cool, I guess. I don't care.
It was a rumored 6-year, $70 million offer.
Yeah, that wasn't going to get him. because the Lakers probably could have fired him in like one season if they really wanted to.
JJ Redick, you are a head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
That honestly, that LeBron would love that.
Oh, absolutely. He would hate Dan Hurley.
Although the issue is they need to keep their podcast going. That's the issue.
Yes. But anyways, let's go back to baseball.
Can we talk about Greg Weissert pitching 4 2/3 innings? Sorry, 1 2.
They had.
Why did I read that as a 4?
I'll be like 4 2/3. Like what the hell?
Wait, I read a 1 as I don't know. My brain's fried.
But it's on a Friday.
I don't know. Maybe because it's what we're recording at. It's 1:46 right now.
1:46. It's early. It's early for you.
Yeah, it's late because it's kind of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's early. I don't know. I typically wake up at like noon, so I woke up at 9:30.
I was up today. I was up today at 8:30.
I woke up at 9:30. I had to take my grandmother to an eye appointment and sit in the parking lot for an hour and a half.
Fun.
So, woohoo! That's where I got to do all my research for this. That's probably why I thought it was a 4 instead of a 1. Besides the point, besides that, Brad Keller pitched a couple innings. Who cares? Whatever. I wish he was Mitch Keller and he sucked, and Mitch Keller was Brad Keller, because then I could call him Bitch Keller. But...
Okay. Bitch Keller. Call him Helen Keller.
No, that's what I won't say it.
Say it.
No. We'll save it for off the air.
Okay. Okay.
Moving on to Game 3. Jason?
Yeah, this is the Bayo slamming of his glove game.
And kicking
Sox
of
lost.
the baseball.
And kicking of the baseball, which I watched live and was immediately disgusted by. The Red Sox lost 6-1. Bobby Dahlbeck, first homer of the year. Is he back? No. Actually, maybe. But the fifth inning woes for this game, not great. Bayo, the Red Sox gave up 5 hits in the 5th inning. Bayo only won 4 2/3, 9 hits, 5 runs all earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, awful. And it was capitalized by a Gavin Sheets grand slam. I mean, look, Bayo got really frustrated. I get it. Just don't have a temper tantrum on the mound or like in the dugout. Have a temper tantrum in the clubhouse when there are no cameras. Whatever. We're humans. We need temper tantrums because we're frustrated. Okay? Just don't throw your glove.
I'd rather see that than him not caring, though.
It's not. I mean, look, he definitely cares. I mean, like, just get your anger out. He definitely cares. Just get your anger out, not on the mound or in the dugout. Just do it when there are few people around and not in front of a national audience. Like, learn to control your frustration.
The Red Sox and the White Sox on
It's a national audience. It's a national audience.
A national audience of what?
It's on MLB TV.
No one's watching the Red Sox and the White Sox unless they're a Red Sox or White Sox fan. You're on television in California who has no interest in the Red Sox and White Sox is going to watch the Red Sox and White Sox on a Saturday afternoon?
Yes.
No.
Random Joe Schmo has nothing else better to do than to watch baseball on a Saturday afternoon.
Turns on.
Red Sox are playing the White Sox. It's a battle of the Soxes. It's a battle of the name, the Sox. They turn it on. They watch Bayo throw his glove and be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
That's lame. No one's watching that game. You could have watched so many different games, so many better games. You could have watched. I
believe this was on MLB Network too.
The Phillies and Mets. Oh, the free game of the day was the Giants and the Rangers. Oh, you had the I don't know. Let's see, the Braves and the Nationals.
I'm pretty sure this one was on MLB Network too.
Who watches MLB Network in the middle of the day?
You don't know. You're in front of an audience. My point is simply don't get your frustration out like that in front of people. Do it in a more secretive place. Whether it's in the back of your car in a Dollar Tree parking lot, whether it's in your fucking...
Whoa. No. I'll take that. I'll take Bayo doing that over Marcus Stroman trashing a fan base on Twitter.
But anyways,
I still
Sox,
love Stroman, but
Sox offense. Hitters 1 through 4 had no hits. Hamilton had 2 hits. Rafaela had a hit. Bob had the home run. Wong had a hit.
Devers got pulled
because of the knee issue.
Actually, the top six spots in the lineup only had 1 hit, and it was Connor Wong, who's somehow still hitting .331.
Among qualified catchers, he's up. I think he leads the league in batting average. Let me look it up.
It's what else happened? I mean, Hamilton had 2 hits. He had a nice game. He's up to 277. After that game, he was up to 277. Actually, if you include the last game, he's up to 282.
Yeah.
Maybe David Hamilton should be the leadoff hitter.
And the designated hitter.
Have Hamilton hit leadoff and then have Duran hit second.
Oh my god, that'd be that speed duo. Oh my goodness, that would change the game.
And then just put someone then put Wong third and then Devers fourth, I guess. Because Wong can run or bunt.
Wong third, he can run
and bunt if you need him to.
Imagine if Story was there, then you would have Story bat third, and then oh my god, that would be awesome.
Don't make me need a T-shirt.
Eat your T-shirt. Hypothetical.
Might need to make a T-shirt for that. If that were to happen.
Okay. So that's the third game. Suck. Stunk.
What?
Stunk.
You're not gonna talk about the other thing that happened?
What other thing? What did I miss?
We let 8.39 ERA Nick Nastrini only give up 1 run in 4 1/3.
That was implied. Nick Nastrini, Jesus Christ! I just and he walked 5 guys and none of them came to score. Yeah. Probably because everyone in the lineup had 5 guys before the game. So what else is there to do in Chicago?
Red Sox eat pizza.
1 for 11 scoring position with runners in scoring position, 9 left on base. Oh my gosh! Stop it! All right, game 4, you're up, Derek.
Some gas pizza. Their pizza sucks. Give me the New York pizza or New Haven. Screw that. Why does the shittiest place on the earth have good pizza? Who gave New York good pizza? Really? There are Italians in other places.
Maybe.
Last game. The Red Sox won. Bobby Dahlbeck sucked again. David Hamilton, like I said, had a good game. Ref Snyder had another solid game. 2 hits for him. Wong stole a base, which was nice. Duran stole another base as well. Duran's up to 15 stolen bases of the year, and then Hamilton also stole a base, so he's up to 13 on the year. It was a bullpen game for the Red Sox. Zach Kelly, nice job, going 2 innings as an opener. Weissert, an inning, didn't give up a run. Slayton struggled, although 2 of his 3 runs were unearned over the 2 innings, so take it as you wish, I guess. Bernardino was solid in the first inning, and then kind of... Okay, I don't know why they had him go past the first inning, but whatever.
Because it was a bullpen game and they needed to stretch him out a little bit.
But the first inning wasn't the cleanest of innings for
still
how Bernardino's looked this year. But you had Brad Keller then came in anyways though, so and then Jansen went 2 and then got the win, and then Cam Boozer got the save in the 10th. So, shout out Cam Boozer, officially a member of the One Save Club for the Red Sox.
Hooray! Hooray!
And
Yay! What?
The Red Sox won off of the Rob Refsnyder base hit, which scored Jaron Moran, which was probably the biggest moment of the game, I think, in terms of
I disagree.
extras.
I disagree. I think Hamilton's leadoff double in the 9th.
In terms of extras and
securing I'll buy that.
And securing that the second run, not just having the first run, but getting that second run to give that extra insurance, considering your closer was already out of the game. In terms of, Kenley wasn't going to pitch a third inning, is what I'm saying. So, in terms of getting that second extra run to give that extra insurance, just in case, with the ghost runner on second, that was obviously, the 9th inning was important, because if they don't tie it in the 9th, they don't win it in the 10th, obviously. But in terms of getting that extra insurance run, made it just so it was okay, you have that little bit extra of you have that extra run, so where if Boozer gives up a run, because you can give up a run in extra innings without giving up a hit. Sack bunt, sack fly, boom, or ground out moves a guy over, sack fly, right? Or something like that scores a run. And typically you start an inning, ground ball out, sack fly, you get 2 outs, no one's on, that's great. But in extras, ground ball to the right side of the infield moves the guy over, and then a sack fly scores him. So, that, I think in terms of getting that extra run, you like to get that second run in extras. I think that was extremely important.
Oh yeah, I think that's the common consensus amongst a lot of baseball analysts. Get the second run, especially if you're the away. Oh, you have to if you're the away team.
Yeah. If you're the home team,
one
just
run,
get as many as you need to win.
Yeah, right. But if you get more than one, that just sets the tone to okay, what are we gonna do? The approach is much different down 2 than 1.
Especially in extras with the guy on second.
Especially with the runner on second roll.
We saw it. We saw it at Fenway.
We did see it.
With that stupid 12-inning game that was, I was ready to lose my mind because the game was, it was fun, but at the same time, that stadium started emptying after the 9th because everyone needed to get home.
You want to take Derek? There should be a 12-inning limit.
Yeah, no, there should be. Ties after 12. Come on. Ties after 12.
Ties after 12.
Okay. Here's the caveat. In Japan, they have ties after 12 to let people get home. Here's my caveat. If you can't break a tie after 12 innings, no one deserves to win. You get the ghost runner. Figure it out.
So how would ties go in the book?
They do how they the same way they do it in Japan.
Do they do a point system in Japan? Or do they do
no? So you know how if you win a game, you still have the games back system. So a team could technically be a half game back at the end of the season because of ties.
If you were half game back in first place and you got a tie, would you be 0.25 game, quarter of a game back?
Still be half a game back. So, hypothetically, let's say one team goes 81 and 81. And then another team goes 81, 80, and 1. So the one tie. The team with the 81, 80, and 1 technically is half a game ahead. Because they don't have that loss. So in terms of games back, they're even in the wins column. They're one game back in the loss column, so they're a half game back. And then the tie is just there.
So it just doesn't count as a game.
No, it still counts as a game. You still played that game. But it's a tie in terms of the games back, right? Because they do the standing in terms of games back, right? So Because if
Yes.
they both went 81 and 81, they're the same record. But if a team goes 81, 80, and then has a tie, that's better than going 81 and 81 and losing that extra game. Losing that game instead the other team tied.
Mm-hmm.
So that, because tying is better than losing.
Tying is better than losing. Yep.
But tying is still worse than winning. So that's how it works. So for example, now if a team was, so that's kind of like how it works. Well, everything's all convenient. Now if you had a team that was 81 and 81, or then you had a team that was 80, 80 and 2 with 2 ties, they'd be 1 game back.
Yeah, that makes sense. The more you talk about it, the more I'm starting to like it. Because, like you said, I mean, especially in Boston where there's like a tight train schedule, especially on weekends, it's like.
Mm-hmm. But also think during weekdays too, people gotta get to work the next day.
People gotta get to work the next day. Does it help with the audience? Well,
also,
half the reason is
the viewing audience at home.
The viewing audience, but I gotta say, move then if that's an issue, move the start time back to 6:50 or 6:40.
But their argument is, well, people need to get home from work and dinner. That's the argument.
Right. I mean, look, 9 to 5 job.
It's a stupid argument. Don't get me wrong. It is a
dumb
argument because you can eat dinner during the game.
I mean, no. Okay. Hypothetically, Joe Schmo or whomever has a typical 9 to 5 job in an office in Boston. Okay.
Again, let's say
an hour. Take the T home. I'll give an hour commute, given the walk to a train station, then you take a commuter rail, get off 30 minutes, do whatever, whole 9 yards. Give you an hour to get home. It's 6 o'clock. I'll give you 10 minutes of whatever time. Okay? It's 6:10 at the latest. You get home. You undress. Get something to eat. Probably whatever your wife or whatever you have in the fridge. 30 minutes. Unless you're a slow ass eater. You're ready by 6:40 to just relax and do whatever. If you're a mom or dad, if you're a dad, I don't know, you got to pick your kid up and then make dinner, that's a different story. Or you're a mom who likes the Red Sox.
But
I mean, that's a whole other conversation. But my point is simply, exactly. My point is simply, there is enough time for anybody who has a 9 to 5 job to be on their couch by 6:40, 6:50, and still able to enjoy a game. But I don't know, Fenway Sports.
Here's the counter argument to that.
I'm not saying there's one. I'm not saying there's one answer, one side I'm on.
Counter argument. Maybe not the counter. But the argument is against. Well, here's the argument also too for having ties. You know what the worst thing is? When you have to go to bed because you have to get up early in the morning and you don't get to see the end of the game. That is the worst.
We're leaving early.
The absolute worst. Not even leaving early. Even if you're at home. And you can't. The game goes in. It's the 10th, 11th inning, and you got to go to bed because you got to get up early in the morning, whether for school or work or whatever it is.
It's like why hockey has the 5-minute overtime period, and then after that, shootout, end the game.
Exactly.
You end the game, or NBA is different. They just go on overtime. Football, you have overtime,
but they have a 5-minute overtime, and it's rare that they stay tied after one overtime.
Yes.
In the NBA. And then football,
MLB is weird too. Like you said, it makes no sense. I'm not saying I'm taking one side, but the argument is
you're not gonna have 50 ties a year per team or something stupid like that.
You're not going to have. How many games have gone above 12 innings?
Exactly. It's not going to come into effect all the time.
But then the counter argument there is, what if that tie is the decision maker, and it's if we played this game on, then this outcome could have been different. But then the argument against that is boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo, you couldn't get a winner. No one, you didn't deserve to win. You could have won in the other 12 innings. You had 12 innings to win, but you didn't. You do not deserve to win. Yeah,
exactly. Also, too, they could be we could have won if it went to the 13th inning. The other team could have won, too. It's a dumb argument. That's an extreme dumb argument because there's no evidence.
Strategy changes then. Strategy changes. Yeah. It's
good.
But
also, too, think about pitching as well. The pitching staffs. Think about that. The pitching
staff. And with the new pitching injuries, too.
Yeah, you go you get into the 13th inning. Who's left to pitch? Who's left?
And imagine you have a bullpen day the next day too,
Yeah.
or you have someone who.
Well,
It's
that
terrible.
call up a starter, but like from AAA.
But
like,
that's still bad.
Yeah, it is.
That's still not good.
And that's also the thing though. Like you look at this Red Sox game, they had a bullpen game. Zach Kelly started, and Whiteside, Slayton, Bernardino, Keller, Jansen, Boozer. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers in 10 innings. 7 pitchers in 10 innings. You know who else they had? Know who the only person who hadn't pitched out of the as a bullpen arm in that game? You know who it was?
Weiser?
No, Chase Anderson, who had thrown 41 pitches the day before.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that game only went 10 innings. If they went 11 innings, they would have been kind of screwed.
I mean, you could make the argument that, Boozer could have gone a second inning. After that, though, in the 12th inning, do they throw a position player? You know what I mean?
I don't know if you can. I
mean, if you don't have anyone else to pitch, you kind of have to, though.
But technically they did.
That's true.
Chase Anderson. Technically they did. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how that rule works. Yeah. But like, I know for a fact you can't just be like, I'm putting a position player in.
Yeah. Unless
I don't know how that works.
There's probably some sort of exception.
I know you can do it if like you run out of like pitchers in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like even starters are technically in your bullpen.
Yeah. But I think that's also now I'm not saying to have ties on like the postseason or whatnot. That's different. But like the regular season,
no, absolutely not in the postseason.
Yeah, not in the postseason. But like in the regular season, like I don't understand why ties are like this big no-no. This is an American sports thing. I don't get why ties are such this big no-no where it's like, oh, we can't have a tie. We have to have a winner. It's like, who says you can't have a tie? I get why, right? You want to send the fans home happy with the winner. You also send them home upset if the home team loses. It's the thing. It's like what, like, dude, there are ties in like every other sport in terms of like outside of the U.S. Like soccer
hockey
has ties. Even hockey
has ties. I mean, because
they used to have.
If you
ties.
like 1 point, they used to, yeah. But I mean, I argue hockey should be a 1, 2, 3 system, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
or 0, 1, 2, 3.
I've been on that. I've been on that for a long time, for a while now. But like, it's
what soccer does.
It's not like, and I'm not saying you have to have this complicated point system, whatnot. No, it's just based on.
No, you don't. You don't need a point system. You don't need a point system.
That's what I'm saying. With wins, loss, and ties, you just do what the NPB does, and you base the games back on the wins and loss column. So if one team goes, let's say a team goes 78 and 74 with six ties, and then another team goes 79 and 75. But technically, in terms of games back, they're tied, but one team has a higher or lower winning percentage. So you could use winning percentage as a tiebreaker.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a good conversation to have. And the more I'm looking at it, I need to look how many games have gone over 12 innings.
But the thing is that even if you could still make the argument, even if it's like 1 or 2 games, like it's still somewhat worth it in a sense in terms of like you kind of don't deserve to win after 12. Like I don't know if you remember like the 14 inning game at Fenway that Chris Davis for the O's had to pitch. I don't know if you remember that game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like I don't want to see that. I know some freaks do, and I don't blame them. Like it's kind of cool, but like I don't want to see it. It's like they have time in spring training.
Yeah.
Like I get it's spring training, it doesn't count, whatever, but like you can have a tie in spring training. Like I don't know. Like that's something like they would have to obviously trial in the minor leagues. But,
for sure. That
it's
if it were to be introduced, it probably wouldn't be in the majors till like 5 years minimum.
Probably.
From when it gets introduced. Like, look at Robo-Umps. They've been in the minors for, 3 years now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But also, to think about this, too. If you're a home team, right, and you get to the bottom of the 12th and the game is tied, you can go for broke.
Yes.
Bring in because you know what? Pinch runner. Why not? The catcher's on second base. You have no catchers on your bench. So what? Bring in a pinch runner. You don't even the like that's the thing. You can kind of
because
go for
like yeah,
broke as the home
conservative.
team.
Because like yeah, exactly. The big question is like you have no one else to catch. It's like, do you want to pinch run?
It doesn't matter because there's no 13th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what. And now you have a greater chance. And you could say,
but that's an unfair advantage to the home team. But at the same time,
every team plays the same amount of home games though. It's not like one team's playing more home games than another team, and that's what gives them an advantage. That's just the game that when it goes to extras. So then you have.
What about a mercy? Off topic. What about a mercy rule?
The issue is that's too difficult to implement.
Yes.
Because it'd have to be after like 7 innings, and like, and even then, it's like,
no.
Like it like the thing is you can't even if it's like 10 like. Here's the point. Actually, you shouldn't be allowed to put in position players. You put in a position player and you're down by 10 or more. It should just be a mercy rule. There's your mercy rule.
Do you think teams should have the option to like mutually end a game? Like if it's like if it's like 14-2 entering the like 9th inning.
No. Here's the argument. Stats. There's the
stats.
Argument.
Well, yeah, stats. Like if someone's going for that's why it has to be mutual though.
No, but I don't. No, because then it's like, do you not? Then it kind of comes confusing. You would have to have a rule that's why like ties after 12 innings. That's like a stop point right there. Regardless, stop after 12. Boom, done. Right? You mercy rule if you do like a mutual agreement. It's like, well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and that can be confusing for new fans.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it that way.
Yeah.
And, like that's the thing. And I know we've been off topic, but it's a good conversation to have though, because let's be honest, we don't want to talk about this White Sox series because it sucks. But like it's a legitimate thing because of that, and I'd say because the NPB does fine with that. I know the NPB is a different audience, right? And I know they have it for a different reason, but especially because they don't have the pitch clock. A 12-inning game goes for like 4 hours at least there, if not more, like 4.5 hours, pushing towards 5. Right? I don't want to watch one baseball game for that long. I want like
the 12-inning game we went to was 3 hours and 12 minutes.
And by the end of it, I was starting to get tired.
I was very tired. It felt longer.
Yes, it feels long because you're used to the 9 innings, and as fans start to get more and more used to quicker games with the pitch clock, those 11, 12-inning games are going to start to feel long again.
You talk about wanting to speed up the game. This would certainly help.
Well, it would help to well, not necessarily. It wouldn't help speed up the game, but it would stop the long, drag-out games too. Because in extras, pitchers work slower in extras because you get the runner on base, so less time on the pitch clock drags out the extra innings. So, and 3 innings, 3 extra innings. 3 innings is a third of a game, right? It's a third of a full game of a 9-inning game. So you're already
which is fine.
An extra
which is fine
30.
Because like what overtime is small. It's a small time to get a winner.
Yeah.
Right.
3 innings, but 3 innings should be more than long enough. That's the thing.
Yes.
3 innings should be more than long enough. If you can't, it's because remember way back when they didn't have lights in stadiums, if the game was tied and the light and the sun went down and you couldn't see, games ended in ties.
Right.
Games would just end in ties because there was no more light. You couldn't see.
Yeah.
So that's well, I'm actually gonna look at it. Let's see when was the last tie. Let's see. The most recent tie was September 29th, 2016 in the final game of the season between the Cubs and the Pirates. It was the first tie since 2005. It ended in a tie. It ended in a tie after 5 1/3 innings because of a rain. And it was the last game of the season, which didn't matter. I guess. But see, you can clearly put a tie when it's this game doesn't mean anything, whatever tie. But like because of a rain out. Also, too, if you introduce ties, then if game gets rained out after 6 innings and the game's tied, you don't have to make a makeup day and totally play around with schedules. You can just call it a tie.
Yes.
You know how difficult it can be to reschedule if the two teams don't play each other again the rest of the year? And now you have to find a common off day?
I think there was an instance with a team, I think, a couple years ago. There was the same situation. They got rain after 6, but they were tied. So I think they had to resume in like 2 months.
Yes.
Because of scheduling. Because scheduling sucked.
Exactly. And that brings in the other thing. You bring in ties, and you can call those games ties. Because they're official games.
Yes.
Boom.
You call that a tie. Unless it's like meaningful in September, that's different.
No. Here's the argument, though. If it's a rule that a game ends in a tie, let's say the game goes 6 innings, right? Gets rained out, and there's a tie, right?
Yeah.
And so you call it a tie because it's after 6 innings, whatnot, right? You had 6 innings to win. I know it's not a full game, but the other team also only had 6 innings, right? Like, I understand there could be outrage if a team misses the playoffs by half a game because that game ends in a tie, and they could have won. You had 161 other games.
Right.
Right? Like that. That's also the argument. Like, I get the whole September thing and whatnot. You wait it out to see if you can play, but if it's
hypothetical. But hypothetical, what if it's like game 163? No, not 160. Well, yeah, 163.
They don't do 163s anymore. They took that out because of the wild card round.
That's right. Games. Oh my god.
They don't do game
right.
163s anymore.
You're right. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't know 163s. Oh man. But what about 162? You still end in a tie?
Yeah, you can't. If it's literally raining to where you cannot play, what else are you gonna do? Because then, if that team's in the playoffs, or if one of those teams are in the playoffs, right? And let's say the tie gets them into the playoffs, right? Because they didn't lose. Then you now have the thing of, it gets them into the if they have to finish that game, right? Then they have to go the next day, and then it throws off either the timing of the wild card series, or, even worse, that team now gets one less day of rest.
Yeah.
And it throws off them, because now that's unfair, because now they get one less day of rest after the season to play in their wild card series.
True.
Because the whole point of the last...
I'm just listing hypotheticals. I'm just listing hypotheticals.
No, I know, and I think that's the thing. Like, for every hypothetical, there is a hypothetical answer, and I think that's the thing. Like, okay, rain delay, you can end those in ties now. You don't have to worry about their terrible scheduling, and especially with the balanced schedule, you have to think about that too. Let's say the Red Sox are playing the Dodgers, hypothetically, 2 teams, opposite sides of the country. They only play each other once a year, and the last game of that series gets rained out.
Correct.
Now you have to find a common date for 2 teams on opposite side of the countries, and let's say that's maybe the Red Sox don't have a West Coast road trip the rest of the year. Maybe the Dodgers don't have an East Coast road trip the rest of the year. So you're gonna fly them across the country for one game?
I'll say though that's a little different. That's a little different. Not playing games and playing games. That's a different. I think each team should at least have some. They should have some chance to win.
No. If it gets rained out after 5 innings, it's 5 innings.
Oh, you're saying after 5? I thought you meant before, before the game. No. Because there are situations like that where it's you should definitely start to play that game.
Yeah.
After 5 though, that's different. And these are very rare circumstances, but it should still be discussed.
Yeah, after 5 innings is an official game. If games can end after 5 innings in a win or a loss, end it in a tie.
I'm starting to be on board with you. Ties make more sense,
especially too with the schedule, because they play 162 games in 180 something days. You don't have much time, and now if you have to play on an off day, now 2 teams have one less off day throughout the season.
Yeah.
If you have multiple games that have to be made, and yes, you could argue, oh well, the game that
but here's the other issue. You mentioned the off days. A team can go 23 days with one off day, and what if you have a makeup game and the only day you guys can make it up is during that off day?
Exactly.
Then it's 24 games in 24 days, which is awful for a pitching staff.
Yeah. And it will also, especially
but the argument against that is like, don't play on Mondays. Have Mondays of off days.
You can do both. You can still do both. Though. Because if it's different if you don't start the game, right? You don't start the game. If you get to the end of the season, that game doesn't matter for anything. Okay, but if let's say you're in September, you only have so many days to make up a game.
Correct.
There's that issue as well. And if
pitchers are tired too.
Especially, and if you've already played 5 innings of the game and completed the 5 innings, that's enough for a full game. Like, that should be the thing. You complete 5, even if you've completed the full inning, end the game. Heck, in Japan, if a game ends after 3 innings and it gets rained out, they don't finish the game. It's a tie. I'm not advocating even for that. I'm just at 5. The Major League Baseball considers 5 innings to complete long enough to be counted as an official game.
Yes.
So, if you play 5 innings or more,
here's the other thing. Yeah, but here's the other thing. What if you only play 4 and it rains?
That's a decision for the MLB to make. You can make that a tie if you wanted to. I don't know, but or you could resume the game. But that depends too. You could resume the game, though, hypothetically, if you wanted to. You could resume the game. Say we played 4 innings, 5 innings an official game. We're only going to play 1 more inning. But, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that for 1 inning.
But here's the other issue. Here's the issue. What if it's a West Coast and East Coast team? Yeah, why are you going to have them travel all the way to one other end just for an inning?
That would happen anyways, though. That problem happens anyways, regardless of the ties or not.
But then you can determine, depending on the situation you're in, if it's the next day, then it's different from 2 months from now. If it's the next day, sure, do an inning before the game, or do an inning before the game, boom, then the next game starts. Something like that.
Because here's my issue. You're still going to have doubleheaders if a full game gets rained out or whatnot. But once you've hit the 5th inning, if it's an official game, it's an official game. And that's more the case I'm making because if you've only played 3 innings, let's say, you still, maybe you finish the game the next day and you still have a doubleheader in some sense, right? But...
And the other thing is grounds crews and, weather, guys have been much better to see, can we get in a game of 5 innings between now and,
especially with the pitch.
Is there enough time to have 5 innings?
Yeah.
Right? And if they say no, that's why you have rain delays. That's why you have rain delays when it doesn't rain, because they don't think they can get the game with at least 5 innings before the rain starts. That's why you have those rain delays. That's why it stops raining. Why aren't they getting the tarp off the field? Because they think there's going to be more rain by the time everything gets situated. More rain's going to come, and it's not going to it's going to affect the ability to go 5 or more. So that's why they do that in the MLB.
Exactly, and that should be the thing. You can play. Let's say you're in the 4th inning that starts downpouring. You're in the middle of the 4th inning. Get through let's say you're in the middle of the 5th inning. You've played 4 complete innings. You're in the middle of the 5th inning. Finish the 5th inning. Call the game. Or at least go into a rain delay, and then you can eventually call it if you get that 5th inning done, right? Now,
exactly.
If you're not in the 5th inning, then okay, rain delay, whatnot. But if you're in the 5th inning, you get that 5th inning. We've seen it countless time in MLB games. If, let's say, the game's in the 5th or 6th inning, they try and get that inning done under any circumstances, and then they'll call a rain delay, right? So if you're in the 5th
we saw it against the Marlins in 2021. It was pouring.
And that game
but they had no availability. They had no that game was in the 6th inning, but they had no availability. Shortstop was a freaking pool.
But here's the thing, if you have ties after 5 innings, they could have called that game after 5. They wouldn't have to play 6th inning. There's also that.
Mm-hmm.
And that 6th inning is terrible.
If I recall correctly, the rain didn't really it was solid rain, but the rain started to pick up It started to pick up much more.
Yeah, in the 6th, but like the ground crew would have seen that, and they could have. But also too, like they also could call it after the top of the 6th, and like that
True.
happened. Like if that happens, it kind of sucks, but like it's still a full game. They've called games like that. Like I'm saying, that tie game, the last tie game in 2016, that was after 5 1/3 innings, I think, or whatnot. Like that's not that long.
It makes sense, though.
We do have to move on, though. We won't spend much time, but we will name our pitcher and player of the week.
Wait, we have to preview.
Okay.
Preview.
Phillies. Okay, whatever.
Quick.
Phillies series. We'll do this quick. Cutter Crawford versus Zach Wheeler is Tuesday. Pavetta versus Christopher Sanchez is Wednesday, and Tanner Houck versus Aaron Nola is Thursday. I'm going bold. I'm taking 2 out of 3.
Oh, I'm taking 1 out of 3. They win the middle game.
I have them winning the middle game and the last game somehow. Tanner Houck's coming out to pitch.
What's Nola's stats?
He's been good.
Yeah, he's good.
But so is Houck.
I have them losing 2 out of 3.
I mean, I can see the bullpen blowing the Houck game, but like, I'm gonna take.
No, for sure. He's been unlucky. So is Crawford. Crawford's been very unlucky. He's regressing in the mean, but still, he's been very unlucky. Teams have lost like 9 games he started, or the Red Sox have lost 9 times he started. So that's why.
All right, player of the week, Jason. Who do you have?
I have Teoscar Hernandez. Over the past week, he's played the Pittsburgh Pirates and New York Yankees. I'll keep this short and sweet. 360 batting average, 9 hits, 4 home runs, 10 ribbies, and 6 runs scored. He had a huge series against the Yankees where I think the Dodgers took 2 out of 3. He had a clutch home run twice. He had 2 home runs in the second game of that Yankee series with 6 RBIs. I think one was a grand slam. But he only walked twice, but kind of fitting that he's having a lot of success with the Dodgers as someone who the Red Sox were very interested in, but the Sox didn't bring him in because they lowballed the crap out of him. But
I don't know if they lowballed him. More like the Dodgers gave him a 1-year, $20 million deal.
1 year, $23 million deal with $8 million deferred.
Yeah. Yeah, the Red Sox were never going to get close to that. So I don't know if they necessarily lowballed it. More like the Dodgers were the Dodgers, basically.
Yeah, true. But still.
Yeah. But yeah, I know what you meant. I was just clarifying.
7 extra base hits.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to take Elliot Ramos of the Giants. He's had a very nice year so far this year. 7 hits and 17 at-bats this week. He only played in 5 games. He had a double, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 6 walks, and just 4 strikeouts. 824 slug this week, 1407 OPS. And he's kind of been a bright star for the Giants, especially since Jung-Hoo Lee's gone out this year in 105 at-bats. He's hitting 314 with a 938 OPS, 6 homers. So he's had a very nice year so far. Pitcher of the week. I'm actually sliding over to the NPB, and I'm going to take Daichi Osera, I think is how you say it. I'm not 100% sure on that. But he pitches for the Hiroshima Carp, and he threw a no-hitter against the Chiba Lotte Marines. 9 innings, no runs, no hits. Just 2 strikeouts in the 9 innings, 5 walks, 129 pitches. That's actually just the 17th no-hitter in NPB history to have more walks than strikeouts, and it's the first. It's the first since 2013. I think I don't even know how to say his name, but Yamai threw one against the Bay Stars in 2013. I'll just say his last name, but no. So he threw it. So that's also the first no hitter by a Carp pitcher since Kenta Maeda no hit the Bay Stars in 2012. The 7th no hitter in Carp history, and the 100 and I don't know. I think it's like the 102nd. I think in I don't know actually, but and a funny note about this: 129 pitches. In a post-game interview, he said he was happy he pulled it off in 129 pitches because January 29th is his wedding anniversary. So 129.
Oh, perfect! Wow.
Yeah.
So can I go mine?
Yes.
All right, we were staying in the MLB. Tarek Skubal this season, 13 starts, .92 ERA, 8-1, has a 3.5 WAR already, a WHIP of .89, 96 strikeouts. And like I said, 13 starts. So if you do the math at home, that's a little bit over 7 strikeouts per game. This week, he's continuing his dominance. One want to know this week, 142 ERA, 2 runs total in 12 and 2/3 innings. Gave up 12 hits, but he struck out 16 total, so 8 strikeouts per game on average. Derek, if this helps you, strikeout numbers for Scooball are going up. I think if this continues, he has a solid chance to earn you some money.
I hope so. I'm hoping so. He has. If you don't know, if you haven't been listening, I made a bet. I think in January.
You made a futures bet.
Yeah, for $5 bet for Tariq Skubal to lead the MLB in strikeouts.
Right.
It's a $5 bet to win $250. So the payout would be $255.
So you could get. Yeah. So best of luck with
Skuball's
that, Derek. And that's my.
Skuball's fourth in the big leagues with 96 strikeouts.
Fourth. Yes. I was going to say that next. He was fourth in the big leagues. Yeah, Glass now. The Dodgers do great things.
He has an extra start, though.
But hopefully
the Korea series.
Yeah. But, hey, we'll see. But that's my pitcher of the week.
Someone tell
I'll
Glass
hand it over to you, Derek.
Someone tell Glass now, and Crochet, and Reagans, and Flaherty, and Cease, and Sale, and Peralta, and Wheeler, and everyone else to, like, not get hurt, but, like...
Slow down.
Trip over, like, a stair or something going up the stairs, or, like, have to sit out a couple starts, or, get a migraine on the day you start and you can't start or something. And nothing bad, but, like, I don't wish anything terribly against these guys, but, like, I'd like to win some money, so. I should have done Scooball for Cy Young, says Strikeouts Leader, but whatever. I don't care. I'll take it. Hopefully I win some money. And for Jason, my name is Derek. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Family Focus, and we will see you next time.